Okay, cool. Do your young intro and then you say who you are.
Okay.
And it was just like, yeah, okay. Now you're doing the element. Oh my gosh, this is so great in front of someone. Okay, bro, you look so pretty. And I was like, here, looking like my problems. What is
I was
that?
like, I know I look sleepy and all of that.
No,
but let me
you're
just
not.
put on my. I wanted to take a nap so badly.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Timbile Maseko, as you all know, and today we have a guest. So this is Aluluto, but I'll let her do her own intro because she's probably got more spice to say about herself. But yeah, basically I was like, today, we have a topic that is it's a lot. And I don't think as one person, I have the capacity to necessarily give you guys like a broad spectrum or like a broad view of what it is. So I brought in a professional someone. I mean, she's doing final year, so whatever she's doing, she's been doing right, and it's working. So I'm only fourth year. I still have 2 years to go. We don't know if it's gonna work or not. It's gonna work though. But yeah, go ahead. Who are you?
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
My name is Aluluto Dingiso. I'm a final year medical student at the University of Pretoria. I don't know what else to add to my bio.
Let me add for you. So she was my haka. Firstly, that's how I know her. So she was my haka when I was in first year. She was third year, and then you're also part of the Pulse. Whatever. It's like our
That's the student committee.
It's a student committee. You see, this is your resume. That's what you're saying. Like, I was like, she was vice chairperson, by the way, when I was first year for Kreletia, and then she was. What was it for
well-being. So it was vice primaria and well-being. And then I was the culture chairperson in our student committee, that's Pulse. And then I also was part of TCT. And then, we also go to the same church.
Oh yes, and we also go to the same church. We go to CRC to get. Oh, that's how I know her. So she's basically like, she likes being part of my life in so many ways. And then it's like, I was like, okay, I know you want to be on my channel. I might as well call you. Okay, so today we're speaking about time management, and like I think it's a big thing generally, not even like in medicine. Like as students, balancing life is so much. And I think every single day and every single year and every single block or rotation, things change and stuff. So we are gonna try and give you guys tips on how to like tackle it and best utilize your time and just try to get through university as best as you can. And because she's such a well-versed individual, I think we can also give tips on how you can just like not always have to focus on like school and stuff. Like, school is important. We're here to learn, but like you're an individual as a whole, and I believe that like you should come out here as a fully grown individual in every single aspect and facet of who you are. You can't just come out here with a degree. It doesn't make any sense.
Guys, with everything I'm gonna share today, just always keep at the back of your mind that it's not a one size fits all type of thing. It's very personality dependent. It depends. There are many factors that you have to work in when drawing up your own timetable, when managing your time, because we all have the same 24 hours. But the way in which we spend it and how we get rejuvenated through the things we do is so different. For instance, like she mentioned, I like doing multiple things. I like doing different things.
Oopies. What's my food? Oopies.
And then while doing all of those things, I know I get energized for them. So by the time I get back to my place, I am recharged and I'm up for studying basically. And now also another thing that I realized early on in this degree is that you look at people who are busy and then you're like, I don't know how they're doing it. And that time you, like if you stay in your room for instance, you nap all the time. So basically, no, not like that. Not like that. Like not necessarily napping and watching Netflix and doing whatever. But if you look at the hours that you spend not studying and you compare them to the hours that person is doing extroverted stuff, you'll find that at the end of the day, if you
would utilize the time you are utilizing to do all these other things, you'd actually live the life that they're living.
But even staying in your room and doing nothing is alive.
It's productive.
It's alive. So I think just understanding that whatever, for instance, let's say if the total amount of hours I use doing non-academic stuff is like, let's say for instance 4 to 5. You'll find that if you're a person that's not as extroverted, you'll find that the same amount of time you spend on non-academic stuff is the same. But it's just that because you see what other people are doing, you feel like, I don't know how they do it. But in essence, the percentage that we allocate to non-academic stuff, you'd find at the end of the day is the same.
Actually, you just made me want to throw away these questions. Because, I mean, that's basically the essence of it, I believe. Like, with time management, it's about finding what works best for you. How Alu spends her time is not going to work for me, because as people, like she said, we have different peak times of when we work. We have different things we enjoy according to our personalities. Some people will be exhausted by the activities we do. Other people are energized by the activities we do. But yeah, disclaimer before we start this video, or since we've started already, whatever we say here, it's not professional help. It is not, we're not qualified. We're just talking according to our experience, which I think is valid. I'm 4th year. She's final year. She has like less than 100 days to get her degree. So child, whatever she's doing is working. But yeah, I think, okay, let's start then with the question of like, how do you structure your time? Like, what are the main factors that determine what you do when you are like planning for your day, let's say? Yeah.
Okay. They say failing to plan is planning to fail. But I am. With that said, I am also a terrible planner. Like, I can't, for instance, give you a set, okay, from 6 to 7, this is what I do, and then from what. I basically sort of wing it, you know? But then again, through all of that, I think it's just I'm an outcomes-based person. For instance, I'll be like, okay, fine, you know, within the week or within the day, I need to
be done with.
You understand? For instance, let's take study topics, for instance. I'll be like, okay, fine, this week I'm allocating these topics to myself, and I need to get through them. How I get through them varies from day to day. But I think if you have an outcomes, and I love ticking off lists.
That is the satisfying thing. Like,
so I'll have my little list with a nice little block.
Yeah.
And then just, okay, fine, wherever I can fit it in, then I'll get it done. But I really, you know, once I have something that's set, especially with how I go about my day, I can't do it like that. But
okay, that's such a contrast from how I work. I am too OCD to just, not that OCD, it's more like I need a plan. So I need like a plan that has details. Like, okay, I know I'll wake up literally every day. I am the most disorganized, organized person you'll find. So like, I literally have a schedule every day. Like, I know I'll wake up, I'll go to the hospital at this time. I know I should be working on this time, and I also have like an outcomes thing. Like, I need to finish this today, I need to do this and this and this, because it's satisfying at the end of the day.
Yeah, it is. It really is satisfying.
But I am more like, I can't trust myself with finessing time, because I feel like I don't know how much time I'll actually need. So I'd rather allocate enough time to kind of give enough attention to the activity. So I'll wake up and do all those things, but I know between this time and this time I'm studying, between this time and this time I'm going to the gym or whatever. I think it kind of makes you feel, for me personally, less guilty, even when I'm like using the time I have for leisure to do leisure things and actually working in the time that I have to work in. Because then it removes the procrastination factor for me, like where I'm like, no, I can like rest for an hour more, Ganti. No, there's no more time left in the day. So it kind of makes me conscious of how much time I have to utilize in the day. And then like I have a weekly thing of like, okay, I want to finish these topics, or I want to do this much this week, and a daily thing of like, I want to do this much. So that's how I personally work, because winging it was not effective.
No shame. For me, I don't know. I can't have a set, this is what we're doing here and there. It's just, this is what I want to achieve at the end of the week or at the end of the day. And then I literally try my level best to achieve all of that. Okay. And also I've learned, because guys, I'm a big procrastinator. Like, if you wanna speak to someone who procrastinates, that's me. Like, I was telling my friends, I'm coming to talk about time management with my friend. They're like, you.
I'm here, because my friends also did that. Also, Summer Friday or something, and they were like, you're gonna tell people what time management, bruh, you're the worst person to manage. And I'm like, no, guys.
But I think what's amazing, or what's just beyond comprehension, is just the ability to get things done. I don't know how I do it, but then again, like I said, for me, what works is having outcomes and utilizing literally everything in your environment to try and achieve that outcome. For instance, if let's say, okay, obviously you want to bring it to academics. If you are studying, let's say, CVS or RESP or whatever, well, in the wards, because we're mainly in the wards now, try and find a RESP patient. Listen. Yeah, I know some people will be like, no, but I want to go through the content. So I know what I'm listening for or what. Just try and figure it out. I'm such a let's figure it out as we go type of person. So I am able to get there and be like, yo, guys, first day rotation. I don't even know how we take history for this particular whatnot. But I'll be there. They'll be like, go clock a baby. And I'm like, okay. Always start with the basics. What's your name? Where are you from? You understand? And I love building relationships with my teachers, with my patients, with everyone. Just get them to a nice, comfortable state while you are still trying to order your thoughts, while you're still trying to find out what you want to do. Because now, the thing is with medicine, no matter how much I can give you a format or a layout, you need to individualize it. You need to custom it to yourself. So I am able to just go first day of rotation, just be like, okay, fine. We're in cardiology. I know it's got to do with the heart. Let's go listen. What will I find? You know? Today? And I am always open. Like, I'm a person that's open to help from other people. I'm a person that's open to, hence I said, utilize your environment. Like, I have friends who will come like this with the theory. I have friends who will do all of that things. So I'm just like, okay. I think basically they need cement. The bricks are there. So let me be cement, you know? So just like, oh, okay,
I can totally resonate. I feel like you said, it's understanding that you're an individual. Like, with whatever you do, understand that you are an individual, and whatever you are doing should be personalized to you. That's why even with like everything, how you study, time management, etc., focus on yourself. Because I know it's so easy to be intimidated in the hospital by like everyone knowing their stuff. But I've also realized my strong point is patient interaction. Like, that's where I'm at.
And that's where you win.
Utilize your strong points and like build on them and contribute that to wherever you can. But then back to time management stuff. Like, we're talking about customization and stuff. And I know that, for example, like I said, people have different peak hours. People have different ways in which they let out like stress and whatever. I wanted to ask, like, for me, for example, let me explain how I do it. I know, for example, I study better in the morning, like early mornings. That's when I study. That's my study time, and it's like super effective. Because when I try to study in the afternoon, I can't study in the afternoon. And then in the evening, I've come back from the gym, I'm really like done with the day, so it doesn't make sense for me to force myself to read and like do stuff. So that's how I structure my time. And also like knowing how many hours to put in and how to study, because I know some people can like study 4 hours straight. I can't do that. I cannot do that. I struggle. Like an hour anxiety.
You'll give me anxiety.
And they were like, no, I just study until I'm done with what I have to study. I was like, child, if I have to sit at that table for more than 2 hours, that's it. My brain is tapping out. So I know, for example, like, okay, I have to study 2 hours, take a 30-minute break, study another 2 hours, take a 30-minute break. And that's just how I work. So I wanted to find out, like, how do you study and how do you kind of structure your day around whatever you have
that I have to do.
And like, what do you do to also have like a break? Because for me personally, gym. People think I gym to be fit. No, guys, I'm just taking a break from my life. I need to escape. I need to escape.
Me too.
If the body comes along, great. But honestly, at this point, it's just to keep active and to kind of like take myself out of the space. Because sitting at the table all day and like studying all day can get into your mind. So yeah, that's what I just wanted to find out.
Okay. So like you said, with timing, it differs for me, guys. I change a lot. Like, I really, really, really change a lot. And I realized that sometimes I remember in 4th year, I used to be able to come back from classes, take a nap, and then go straight to the study center, study up until like 10. Like, guys, like at most, I am being honest with you guys, no lies detected, I cannot do anything more than 2 hours.
Same.
I cannot do anything more than 2 hours. And if you see me sitting in the study center and it's been past 2 hours, just know I'm watching Big Bang Theory. Like, no lie. Yeah, no. So I can't do anything past 2 hours. The minute I reach the 2 hour mark, I know I need to change my environment. I need to do something. And also another thing that pushes me is the proximity to exam time.
Okay.
You know,
yes.
so
when the pressure is getting worse.
Yeah, you know, when the pressure is getting, you won't sleep, Baba. You'll be on your bed and trying to remember the stuff you just studied.
True.
So I won't lie and say that does not push me. It does push me. I am still struggling with consistency. I will not lie to you guys and be like, I am able to come back every day and study.
That's what I also wanted to ask you, because our degree really requires you to show up every day. It doesn't give you space to breathe. Like, if it's that thing of like, you really have to put in some sort of work, maybe not as much like than you would closer to the exam, but like every day you have to kind of work to make sure it doesn't accumulate to like a lot when you have to thingy. And sometimes you just like, your body just taps out. It's like, just not today. We are not working today. Yeah. How do you like deal with those days? Because I know like a lot of students then beat themselves up a lot about that, and then they like force themselves to study and they get into this block thingies and they can't study because they feel guilty because they're like, I wasted time. How do you like get through those days where your body is really like, no,
I'm done. Yeah, no. What helped me, I remember a friend of mine said this to me in matric. She said,
matric already.
Yeah. She said to me, shout out to, what was her name?
After all my inspiration, she forgot.
No, guys, it's been such a long time and she's so phenomenal. Her surname is Zide. I just forgot her name right now. Miss Zide. Hello, hi. But she said to me, Q.
Oh, okay.
She said to me, be afraid of standing still, but don't be afraid of slowly moving. Like she literally was just like, even if it's a small step in the right direction, don't look down on it. Be happy that you are moving somewhere. Be happy that you are in motion. And I feel like many a times we, especially as students in medicine, when you are not, or when you are slowly moving and then you speak to friends and you speak to other people, and those guys, toxic conversations. Be careful of the people you have around you. Like, obviously you can't not be friends with people or whatnot, but when a conversation or anything gets toxic, rather go do something else, take a walk, do whatever, like just excuse yourself from the situation if you can't change it. So she was just like, don't be afraid of moving slowly, just be afraid of standing still. You understand? So I try to be consistent. To this day, guys, I will not lie to you. I won't lie and say every day I open my book and I study. That would be a straight up lie.
There's hope, guys.
There's hope. No, there's hope. Like you get to final year. You get to be a doctor. You get to be an intern. And one other thing that I always tell myself is that medicine is about learning. You're continuously learning. In internship, you will learn. As an MO, you will learn. If you specialize, you are still learning. Even consultants are still learning. I remember in my surgery oral exam I was there, and then I mentioned something, and then the prof was like, ooh, I didn't know that. And I was like, you know. But then again, those little encounters you have with like senior people in medicine, just always use them to keep yourself grounded. That I will continuously learn in this degree. So there's no way, I don't care if you read Harrison's or Tallies and O'Connor's back to front and you have it memorized, but there's always something that you will learn each and every day. Open yourself up to that.
I think like that's the biggest thing for me personally, I'm not speaking on and everyone that I've kind of like spoken to. It's hard for us to be okay with not knowing things. That is, I feel like that's very difficult without thingy. Because everyone expects you to know so much that it kind of disregards the things you already know. And you also feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know anything. But guys, like, okay, I feel like this is refreshing. What I do at the end of the day, I speak to a person who does not do medicine and I debrief them. And it makes you realize, no, guys, like, I know something. As much as I don't know as much as the consultant made me feel like I should know. But I know I'm learning. And I think that's the most difficult part. Like you said, moving slowly. We don't want to move slowly.
No, we don't.
We want to I want to be on top.
You know?
I want to be on top. I want to be done with everything. I can't accept the fact that, okay, at least today I covered one topic. I'm fine. Maybe Ksasa or tomorrow they'll speak about abdo as I was reading about race, but I'll be like, I know nothing. So that's a very interesting theory. That's a very interesting theory. But then, like, how do you forgive yourself? How do you forgive yourself?
How do you forgive yourself?
How do you forgive yourself
it takes
for the
time.
Unproductive days?
For the unproductive days, for the parts where you don't know.
Yes.
I think for me, I've capitalized on my strength. I know, and my strength, like you said, is building patient relationships. I know that when I walk out of the hospital, I made sure that the patient understood what was wrong with them. Yes. I made sure that the patient was at peace. Like for me, I'm just like, you know, I know we'll have the round and then we'll be there and then the consultant will be asking everything. After all of that is gone, I go back to my patients and I'm like, Mama, do you understand? Wow. Are you okay? Do you know what's happening? Yeah. And then many a times you find that they don't know.
True.
They don't know why we are constantly taking bloods. They don't know why a group of students is huddled over their table. And now also for us, I know finding clinical signs and finding rare things is so amazing.
That's where we're at.
I had a patient that had something that's so rare. I couldn't help myself. I was smiling the whole time as I was examining her. I was like, this is so beautiful. And then she's just like, no, not really. Because to her, it's a life-changing something. And to me, it's a textbook coming to life. I capitalize on that strength that I know I have. At the end of the day, I go to them and I'm like, are you okay? So find something that you're good at and capitalize it. That no matter who says what and what happens within that word round and whatever, that they cannot take that away from you. Even if you have to Google how to, I remember a friend of mine before I started SIC was like, if you have to Google how not to take things personally, go watch YouTube. Friends, I did. I will not lie to you. I went. There's no shame in the game. There's no shame in doing anything in medicine. You'll get people, and now remember, reality is so different to what people say. It is so different. Hence, I try and make it a thing of mine that if I talk, especially on platforms such as this, I am honest as I can be. So you know that your reality is also someone else's reality. You know? So watch those YouTube videos of how not to take offense. Watch everything, you know, like you'll have people and then they will go for therapy.
I always tell my friends that.
Yeah.
So guys, therapy is, I think it's something that needs to be like destigmatized, is such a word. Like where we start. It's helpful. It's not for crazy people. And it doesn't have to get to the point where you're breaking to go there. Like no. Have that habit of like taking some time to just talk to someone. You know, someone actually said this. They were like, I think you should go to therapist. Okay, yeah. And they're like, it's like finding someone who you don't feel bad to give your burdens to. Because I feel like support systems are amazing. They're totally great. But I feel guilty, for example, if I start to overburden someone and I start just dumping all my problems on them. But with a psychologist or therapist, I pay you for it. So.
You know, and also they went to school.
Okay,
they went to school for that.
Yeah.
They know what tools to give you. Because I know with my therapist, he always says that therapy is not supposed to be lifelong. Don't think, oh my God, you'll never be able to face life on your own. He's like, no, my job is just to give you the right tools. And these are some of the tools that I'm sharing with you guys right now. Because he told me, he's like, you know what? They're freebies. So he was just like, capitalize on the things, capitalize on your strengths. Because it'll always happen. Trust you me, there'll be days where they'll ask you this and you're like, yo, I don't know. They'll ask you simple things. And I remember like, you know, when they asked you go trans and they're like, it's a simple thing. And you're like,
and all these students are watching
you know, and then they're like, no. And then, you know,
they're like, what's the normal value of this? And everyone's like, and you know how they're like whispering, like, everyone's like, and then they're just
like, well, me during one dance, I'm just like, I guys say it. Like, if their business. I'm just like, what are you saying? Like, I will point if you guys are ever in a ward round with me and you whisper something with the consultant there, I'll be like, this one is saying something.
Oh yeah, that is so honestly,
you cannot. Guys. And now
that is so cool.
that no, I say it. I'm like, I don't know. She knows. She must say it because in that moment, I also think that it's just me also empowering you
That
to
person,
stand. Understand?
true.
Empower. It doesn't matter that I'm a final year and I don't know, and you're a fourth year and you know. You say it. So in that moment, I am creating space for you to say it. You know,
and like,
that, you
that is actually pretty cool. Wow, I feel like, bro, now you have guts. But I think it comes with like experience, and I think you've had trials and errors, of course, that you've tried. But this is so. I'm motivated. I'm inspired. I'm like, whoa, bro.
But no.
Because I feel like we put ourselves under. Me, I know personally, it's very hard, especially when you're with your peers, to accept that I don't know. Like I don't know because you forget your strengths. Like I know, for example, I enjoy clinicals. The reason I enjoy clinicals is because I get to interact with patients, and that's where my heart is, honestly, with medicine. That's why I did medicine. I love the interaction I get with people. I love helping people like there and there, emotionally, psychologically. Okay, I'm not a psychologist, but like, you know, being there for someone in their most vulnerable states and kind of making them feel comfortable. That's so much job. But you forget it when we're going through the theater. They're like, yo,
And
what do I have, God?
And then they do this thing whereby during the ward rounds, they'll be like, okay, give me causes of what, and then they'll go in a line. And then when it's on the other person, they're counting.
You're like, okay, this and this, and then this and this, and then you're like, okay, now I don't have any.
And then it gets to you. It's like them asking simple things like the contents in the abdomen. And then you're just like, oh, and you're like, okay,
you think
small
of that
intestine.
one, and
You are like, okay,
holding
fine,
on
I'm
to
there.
it. Then the person right before is like, small intestine. Now you have to think of something else.
And it's gone. But then again, in that moment, it's difficult, guys. I won't lie. I was also fourth year. I am still a final year. Like I don't necessarily want to say there's a hierarchy or whatnot, but also there is. But I like to bring back everyone down to a level where I'm like, we are all colleagues. You know, the minute you
wow,
like the minute you take apart that scariness that we put to consultants and registrars and stuff like that, and you're like, you know what? At the end of the day, we are all working together to make sure that the patient is well. You know? So then like you bring them to guys, nobody what's I don't want to say I'm a disrespectful person, but I'm a person who, like I said, I like building relationships and making sure that we meet each other here. You understand? So for me, saying that we are colleagues, you know, makes it better for me to bring it back and be like, hey, I'm actually talking to a fellow colleague. And if I don't know, I don't know. If you want to make me feel bad about it, yeah, fine, I'll feel bad. I'll go home, I'll cry, I'll do all of that stuff. Again, there's no shame in the game. But at the end of the day, I know that I was talking to a colleague, you know, so that it makes it better for me to deal with all of that. But guys, no, we still cry. Don't think you'll meet me in the wards and I will be like, you understand? Like, we still cry.
There's one guy on a gynae rotation, and he would always wear like a lab, not a lab coat, doctor's coat, and he'd wear like, he's a fifth year, mind you, and he'd wear like, you know, nice shoes, and he'd look groomed and stuff. He looked like a consultant, and he had the confidence of a consultant. I was like, wow, I want to be you when I grow up.
Fake it till you
I
make
want
it.
to be you. I think that's what it all is about. Keep trying. Like, I think that's my biggest thing. Yo, guys, don't give up. Don't lose hope. But it's hard. Bro.
It is hard.
It's so
It is hard.
Like, I feel like for me personally, that's why I kind of invest time in, especially things that I do outside of like medicine, because it helps me to realize that I'm more of a person than just medicine, if that makes sense. Like, I'm more of a person. I have people around me who I can do certain things with. I can go to the gym, I can do community projects or whatever. I can speak to a friend and help them out. It makes you feel like, okay, no shame, I'm actually a person outside of medicine, and I am an amazing person outside of, yes, maybe theoretically with my medical whatever, I don't know anything or I don't know that much, but I am a person who's enough and who has a lot they have to offer to everything. I think that's why you shouldn't like be so caught up in don't be so caught up in making medicine everything, guys. Yo, that's the one thing for me. But at the same time, like,
but I also sorry honey, I don't want it to seem like we're going off on a tangent because we want to talk about time management and all that day. But guys, I think at the basis of it all, we can tell you sleep 3 hours, do whatever, do, but it's what you do after what you put in that matters, you know, because we are so different. And like I said from the beginning, that it's not a one size fits all, but it's just at the end of the day, when what we really should talk about or try and make you guys comfortable with, or just bring to your consciousness, is how to deal with things not going according to your plan. Because that's essentially it.
That is.
Time management falls under planning.
True.
Everything, your study method, it falls under planning. True. So I can break down my whole day just now, and then you'll just be like, oh, hi, I can't be like that girl. You know, she can break it down, and you could be like, oh, she's even worse. Yeah. But I think what we should be really addressing is, what do you do when the planning fails?
And that's a conversation for another day, because I'm not emotionally ready to talk about that.
Because you will have the perfect time management. You will have everything. But it'll just so happen that you'll study abdomen things, and then they'll ask you reps thing. And then you'll be like, my plan is not working.
Exactly.
What's going to happen? So
actually,
those are the things, guys. You can Google time management skills just now, and you'll get tons of them. But not enough emphasis is put on what to do when the planning fails.
So guys, today we're going to talk about what happens when the planning fails. What do you do? Yeah, but that's the real chat, because I feel like those are the biggest challenges, like setting up schedules and whatever. Like, I'm thinking now of the experience I've had mentees and stuff that I'd help with, like making their timetables and stuff. But life happens, and the stress is not from I couldn't make a plan. It's from I had a plan, but I couldn't fulfill that. I couldn't do the plan. What now? And that's where the stress is. And forgiving yourself for not fulfilling the plan, and trying to recalibrate yourself. Because I feel like there's two things that happen when the plan doesn't work. It's either you'll be like, okay, it didn't work. It's fine. Let's try again. We just have to kind of shuffle things up a bit. Or it's like, that's it. Tap out.
And it didn't work. Now, instead of talking to Stembile, I'm going to go talk to someone else. And now you'll keep on doing this cycle, but the real thing is to what you can do, or what you must do when the planning doesn't come to fruition.
So what must we do when the planning doesn't work?
That's where balance comes in.
Oh, okay.
That's where balance
but you know
in.
what? Okay, let me fold this thing. Bro, we came into medicine, and they're like, guys, all you have to do is find the balance. I've been trying to find the balance for 4 years. I've been working towards the balance for 4 years. What is this balance? What is the balance?
For me, balance has been number one, mental health. You know, the most important things to me are my faith, my family, and my friends. So those are the three. That's literally my three F's. Yeah, those are my 3 F's. That I'm just like, well, okay, if one of these is not supporting me, I need to find support within one of these arenas in my life. So it's literally saying, okay, fine, I have Googled and planned. I have planned for medicine. I've planned for my degree, and the plan has failed. What now? I know with faith, and I'm trying to be respectful to the different religions and stuff like that we all have. But with faith, I know, okay, fine, I need to put that as the center of my everything, you know? And then I know, okay, fine, these are my legs of support. So with the 3 comes the all-rounder, or what ties it all together, my mental health.
Yeah.
You know?
Because I think if you don't have this in check, it's hard to maintain these other things.
It's hard to maintain. It really is hard to maintain them. Because now, I mean, if I'm depressed and I don't want to go to church, then I don't want to go to church, you know? If I'm depressed and I don't want to speak to my mom or my sister or my family, then I'm not going to do all of that. So it's always it's the 3 things, and then my mental health ties them all together. So I think
you take care of the mental health. Child, that is the question.
Psychologist.
Right, man. Okay. Maybe I'm telling myself psychologist. Yeah, but what about those times? So do you go to your psychologist? Like, how do you? Yeah, tell us about that. Like, how do you do that? Is it like I have a bad day, I go to my psychologist. I have a bad session, I go to my psychologist. Or is it like a thing of like there's certain things I do until I get to a certain point and then I decide if it's okay, I should probably schedule a session with my psychologist.
Okay, so we meet frequently, like on a monthly basis. Okay. So and then
mind you, I actually have to set up my appointment.
But trust you me, before each and every appointment, there's something that I was trying to deal with and I was and I struggled with. So it will be a thing of, okay, I like to note things down, from my list and taking stuff
the outcomes.
So, so I'll be like, oh, okay. I didn't know how to deal with a disappointment from a friend.
Okay.
Note it down. Didn't know how to.
That's actually smart.
So I was just like, okay, fine. And now it's also important that you get to what's causing you
to not
be okay.
Yeah.
You understand? For instance, just like you said now, like what actually bothers me when a consultant asks me something and I don't know. Is it the fear of my friends laughing at me? Is it me being disappointed in myself? Is it
yo bro, I ain't ready to. That's like because I think that's another thing that we do. We go to psychologists. I think that's why we're not utilizing them as much as we could personally, because we go there and you kind of expect the person to figure out what's wrong for you.
No,
like they must be the ones to start from scratch. Like, so what's wrong today? Okay, this is wrong. Okay, then they must be like, okay, is it because of the thing that happened? And you don't jot down these problems and you kind of forget. Like when you get to the appointment, you're like, nah, I'm okay today, so I guess it's cool. Like we can just wrap it up.
Yeah, from personal experience, I know when I just started fourth year, because I'm a bubbly person. I talk, and I'm just like, no, Kaloko, I cannot be there and then not know something. So for me, the biggest thing was, what are my friends gonna say about me? What will people that know me say about me? What will my glookies say? It's So for me, it was more a thing of because I know, like, I don't doubt myself. I know I am able to do things. But in that setting, just starting out, it was, what are people gonna say? I had the Abantu Bazotini syndrome because you have this girl, Haka, Palsy, and then I'm just like, now I'm gonna be asked something simple, and all of these people behind us, they're looking at me, and I'm just like, what am I gonna say? So I had a big Abantu Bazotini syndrome, and that held me back. It held me back because I don't want to make mistakes. I didn't want, if asked, I'd just be like I'd shy away, stay at the back, do all of those things because I'm just like, what are my friends gonna say?
Because that's the thing. I feel like, because I think a lot of us go through a lot of things similarly, but no one says anything. So that's someone wrote this today. They were like, sometimes it's just good to know you're not alone. Like, you don't have to tell me a lot of things. Just tell me what's it now, bro. Like, I am also going through what you're going through. It brings some sort of comfort. And it gives some hope. You know what? No, man, if she could make it to final, no offense. If she could make it to final year and didn't necessarily have it in the most perfect way or in the most typical medical student way, then wow, I can actually do it. Because sometimes I feel like we all come from a background of like, we were smart, we had everything figured out, whatever.
We were all dark scholars. We were all and our award goes to imagine being in a room. I feel like that's kind of the thing. You're in a room with all those people. Like it's just Dutch learners and they were the overachievers of whatever. And then you feel like, then there's me and I'm just here. Like once upon a time I was smart, but now clearly I'm not. And it gets really hard because you feel like everyone else is just on top of their things. You feel like nobody is struggling, and I think that kills us. The Abantu Bazotini, in medicine especially, you like, I would rather not. And it even kills the things that you know. Like you'd know an answer and you're like, but I don't know if I know. And also one thing a friend of mine said to me was like, you don't have to prove you're smart anymore. You don't have to prove you're smart.
That's actually true.
You're in medicine, and if you're still trying, you don't even if you're still trying to get into medicine, you don't have to prove that you're smart to anyone.
True. You don't know anyone.
No, you don't. No, you don't. So now, guys, I'd be so intimidated by friends and people around me because in fourth year you walk around as a group mainly.
Yes.
So you'll be there and then you're like, oh God, okay, what comes after patient demographics? Like, okay, it's presenting complaints, and then by the time you're trying to think what comes, then they come. So, Mama, what brought you here today? You're like, I was still coming to that point. Like, and then while you're there, someone else is thinking of something you think is better. Because now they raise something and you're like, oh, maybe I should have started with that question. Okay, maybe not start with the severity. Maybe I should have started with the onset. Maybe. And now we get so consumed by all of those things that you're just like, okay, let me just take a step back. I remember I used to do that a lot in fourth year. Because I'd just be like, oh my God. Okay, fine. Okay, back then I didn't know what my strength was. So I couldn't capitalize on it. So I was just there, and then then people would, you know it's rude when people start taking out printouts. People start taking out printouts. People are mentioning these ones' notes. People are mentioning that they use this textbook. That time when now you are just there as Mtane Nkosi.
You and your God, it's just me and my God.
You're just like, hey guys, where are these things? And then it's time to touch the patient, and people know how to touch the patient, and you're like, you struggle with simple things as finding the pulse, and then you're like, guys,
I can't even find the pulse, and you just give up, and
you won't believe the amount of times I never found a pulse.
No one says that. No one says that they don't find the pulse. It was like, yeah, totally. I found it. It was whatever. It wasn't trendy. And you're like, hi, bro, I couldn't even feel a pulse in the first place. How? And it's like, it's frustrating. Medicine is frustrating. It's full of people who want to be right and don't want to say when they don't know and when they don't find the stuff.
And now also you'll just be like, I can't find this pulse, and then now you're going to listen to the chest, and then now it's a thing of who had what where was what.
Someone is like, I heard a murmur, and another one is like, nah, but I didn't hear. It was diastolic. It was systolic. Like I just heard a S1, S2. I just heard a heartbeat. What is everyone talking
about? You guys
about?
won't believe that sometimes I just don't even hear S1, S2. I'm just like, okay. Obviously now I know how to differentiate, but then there'd be times where I just be like, okay. Then they're like, you're supposed to hear lap dub. I'm just like, I don't even know how lap dub sounds like.
Now there's Kentucky, now there's Tennessee, and you're like, I was just trying to find S1 and S2. Like, please.
But,
yeah. And then, like, okay, my last question then, just to wrap up everything, would be like, how do you then ensure that you invest as much time into your academics as you do into your relationships? Because there's one thing we were talking about with a friend lately, and we're like, it's very hard for medical students and like people in the healthcare profession to maintain relationships outside of the profession, because it's very easy for it to consume you and every single part of you. And also sometimes you find people who don't understand the amount of time you have to invest into your books, and they kind of like, no, but you're never there, or you never call, or you never whatever. How do you make sure that you balance all those things? Because like you said, you have your friends, family, faith, and those are very important things in you as an individual, but they need time.
They really do need time. They really do need time. I know, obviously, with church, there'll be, okay, just taking it back to my 3 Fs. I know sometimes with church, like, you'll be like, I'm writing tomorrow. And you're just like, and then now you start filtering in, you're like, I go to a church that takes 1 hour, 30 minutes, but there's the drive too, there's the drive back, and then when I come back, I need to put myself in the zone, and then you start coming up with all of these excuses of why not to do it. But then again, I feel like with faith, it's a
no-brainer type of thing.
Not even that. It's a you need to be
convicted.
No.
Convinced. And that's
it comes from the inside.
Yeah.
Like it comes from the inside. I remember I used to have a friend, her cat. Like she'll go no matter the weather.
They will be that friend.
Yeah, they'll be that friend. I promise you they'll be that friend.
Like, Sana, we are only together in this degree, Marawena. Like you don't even think twice. You don't even go like
just like, hey. And now sometimes, guys, it's nice to have a companion. It's nice to have companions. Yeah. You know when you call a friend and you're like, I'm not going to church, and they're like, me too. You suddenly feel better. And then so now, I'll be calling, I was like, hey friend, I'm not thinking of going to church. Hi, Chummy, why? And I'm like, I will not all write you tomorrow.
Here I am coming to you as a fellow student to
so that we can
each other. And then you're gonna make me feel like,
why? Why you don't come here? It's like, hey, I'm still behind. I still have 20 more topics to cover. But that's a different story. And then with friends, it's limiting because I do have non-medical friends.
yes.
And
I think that's healthy.
It's healthy, but like you said, it's difficult to maintain the relationship.
Yeah.
I know I'll go for like 3 months without talking to a friend of mine.
Okay,
and
yeah,
I think,
actually.
we've gotten to a point.
I was like, but yeah.
Then you remember.
You
remember.
Is that one friend I've spoken to in 6 months? But yeah.
But I know we had to work at it a lot. There were many, let's talk about it, what's happening. I feel neglected in the friendship. Like, I can't tell you things that's happening in my life. And now she's in Joburg. So it was just like a thing of, yeah. And now you'll be like, but there's innovative things such as video calls and stuff like that.
Yes.
But sometimes you just can't even put aside that 10 minutes, that 30 minutes to just find out, how a person is or what's happening. So we had to build and work in our relationship. We're at a place now. She knows, for instance, just before I started my new rotation, I had time in the previous one. So we were talking every day, and I was like, okay, friend, it's that time again. So if you don't get a message from me,
don't be sure
in like
not me
3 weeks, I think communication,
Yeah.
like you communicate, because now you need to understand that no one has the context of Timbile's life. No one has you don't have the context of my life.
And the thing is, people see you do things outside on like your Instagram and stuff, and they think you have time. They're like, how? But you can go to the gym, and it's like it's not the same. It's not the same.
Communicate and be like, hey, I won't be able, or just like I was telling you right now, I literally on Sunday we had our video call, and I was like, friend, should be it's starting
It's that
again,
time
So
That's
if I
exactly.
don't answer as often, or if we don't chat as often, please understand. I find that once you communicate like the context of your life and what's going on, it gets what is thinking with relationships gets a lot better. Romantic relationships, on the other hand, child,
But
I don't know.
I don't know either. So it's fine.
I don't know. But with friendships, I know how to
And then
navigate. Family. Well, guys, my mom and I are like this.
That
We are
is
like
nice,
this. If you guys
man.
know, like, my mom calls me every morning, during the day, and at night. Every day without
I was
fail.
gonna watch this. And she's gonna be like, why can't you do that with other kids? Bro, don't be out here putting us up for failure.
And now all night, she holds up the biggest end of the stick. Because she calls and she... she's the one that initiates all of these things. So even with her, I know, and now she'll get hurt when I'll be like, okay, mommy, I can't talk, let's talk later. And then when I come back, I'm like, okay, mommy, good night. And then she always says, my baby, I just need to know you're okay. She's just like, that's all I need to know is if you're okay and if you woke up and if you're at home and you go to bed.
I think another thing that we feel guilty about, me personally, I'm like, if I can't be in the moment fully with the person, I'd rather not have the moment at all.
No.
Like, is it like, if I'm calling my mother, let's say, and I'm not feeling like okay, I'm like, I'll just try to call her tomorrow. Maybe I'll be feeling better. And we think that the people can't support us in that moment, or they can't be there for us. Like, I have to be okay every time I speak to this person. And it puts a lot of burden onto yourself, and it makes the relationship deteriorate. Because then you start being like, and stuff. So I'm like, I want to ask you, be honest.
Okay.
What do you do when you don't feel, when you don't feel like picking up your mom's call? Like, you've had a long day and you really don't feel like talking to anyone, but then your mom calls you.
I think the minute I feel that, I take a step ahead of it.
Okay.
I call her and I'm like, I'm not feeling okay. Let's talk tomorrow.
Oh.
Yes.
Mature relationship.
I walk ahead of it. Because now when she calls, you'll find out she's excited. She wants me to talk. She wants that relationship. So the minute I get home and I'm like, I don't want to talk, I send her a WhatsApp and I'm like, Mommy, I'm tired. Can we talk tomorrow?
Okay.
So yeah,
That's
take
very
a
cool.
step.
And what about the ones in medicine, the relationships in medicine? Because I know with my friends and I, when we started our rotations, guys, actually, having friendships is hard when you're an adult. You have to put active effort. Like, you have to put effort. It's not like, now I'll see you in class, so we'll chat there. No, it's like, I will see you in class, but we're in class, and then we're gonna get out, and I don't see you for like a solid month, but we're doing the same degree. We are in the same class, but because of the different rotation groups and stuff, you guys barely get to see each other. How do you work around that then?
It's communication again. You communicate, guys. You cannot.
Maybe
when another person is involved, anything that is external or out of you needs you to communicate. Because now the other person, they don't know.
They can't
For instance,
here.
before I came here, okay, I'm also a person, I like to report a lot. Because I know I don't like the inconvenience myself. Like, if you're not going to be available, tell me ahead of time, So I was just like, hey, I'm just popping by stairs. I'll see you when I get back, or chat when I get back. So at least now they have... You just need to be mindful of the fact that
what
they
about
don't
us
have
who really
the
suck
same
at
context.
texting, bro? I am
Guys,
I can't.
And now you know what? It's like
can't.
it's a punishment to me because all my friends have bad texting etiquette.
It's because you like communicate. I'm like, but that's the problem, though. I just guys.
I've learned to not expect a response. They're like, literally, if I could whip up my phone and show you my one friend, it'll be messages from me all the time. It's one-sided.
Bro, are you sure this is your friend?
But what gives me comfort is knowing that I know she saw it.
Okay.
Because she'll be a person who'll be like, I saw the message.
I wanted to answer, but then I just never.
Yeah. And then she'll be like, we were so busy at the clinic, or this happened, or that happened. But I'm just like, to help myself, because I know that I don't like to be inconvenienced like that. So I will text them, be like, hey, I'm home. When you have time, let's talk. And then I put my phone away. So I taught myself to not sit by my phone and wait for a response. Because with the friends I have, guys,
you'll sit there. You will wait.
I would be this small. I would be this small because I say to their faces, and I'm like, bro, you guys have such bad texting etiquette.
Texting takes time. Like, it's that thing of like, it's because you have a solution to it, which is making it hard to like not say. Because I am terrible at it. Like, everyone has given up, and I also have a backlog of coffee dates I still have to go to, and I have a lot of people I was like, nah, I must see. It's just, it's so much admin, bro. I'm only one person. It's a lot.
No, Shem, it is a lot, and especially with the coffee dates.
That's going out. That's I have to dress, go out, see you, come back.
You know what I do?
What?
I just take my friends to the park, or I'm like, let's go on a walk. I enjoy that.
Okay.
So for me, like,
I'm gonna want aesthetics. I wanna post on Instagram.
Post the walk.
Actually, romanticize your life.
I don't know. Just try and bring it to you so that you don't always have to go out for it to happen.
I think we tend to think it has to be grand. It can't be like a simple thing of us just getting together, and that's what delays it. I always tell people, like, if you want to hang out with me, hijack me. Be like, hey, I saw you sitting at Crisp, and you just sit with me and we talk. That's the only way you'll get me, because when we try to make it complicated and we have to go out, we have to do like something, I get very teka a bit, but that's beautiful. I think that communication, like you said.
And also, sorry, I saw you do this with your friends quite a lot. Going for ice cream.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ice cream cones.
And I was literally, I know when I stayed here, I literally at 9 or whatever.
Those are the best.
I'd go to Kat's room and be like, wanna go get ice cream?
And it doesn't have to be like there by a room. Okay, I'm not promoting anyone. It doesn't have to be like where you have to buy 50 rands ice cream. Come here, ice cream cone, guys. I think it's the gesture of just being together, going to a place, coming back, and just spending that little time together. It does. I know. Something.
We would go get ice cream, and then we would come park by the Bright area, and we'd just blast music in the car, or we'd go park by Union Buildings. And then there by the hill, So I like to keep it simple.
That is.
I like to keep it simple because
is
simple is attainable.
Want to look cute, want to be pretty, and go out and
you guys must. all of those things.
But yeah, thank you so much, Alu. I've learned a lot from this conversation. I've had a lot of I think like seeing or having a person come to you and speak and say things that you're also going through and kind of be like, it's okay. Sometimes I don't need someone to tell me solutions, guys. There's many videos like you said that can tell me how to do 1, 2, 3 and you'll be fine. But for sometimes you just need to hear someone say it's okay. Like that's normal. It doesn't make you any less of a great person or a great student or whatever. It just makes you human. And then also communication. Gosh, like honestly, communicate. It's not difficult. I feel like we make life harder than it needs to be. You just need to do them simple, and the little things will accumulate to big things eventually. So yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Alulu to them. I'm ready. You should like start your own podcast or something. You have so many things to say that are honestly like so insightful. Yeah, and I can't wait. I think you should come back sometime again. I think people will watch you back.
How do people normally end this? So hit in the comment section,
like, subscribe in the comments. If we get 50 comments, let's say she must come back. She will react to the channel. But yeah, this is Aluluto Dingiso, and she's a final year. All the best with the last stretch, bro. Oh my gosh. Don't forget us in your kingdom when you are
guys
there.
And also, I think I'm really a chilled person. If you bump into me in the hospital, we can have a chat. Anyway, you see me, come up to me, just like, hey. And we can take it from there. I think, like I said to you guys, that we don't need the pretense, just
Instagram is pressuring us, child. That's easy.
And I understand the pressure, and that's for a different growth altogether. But it's
immature.
Don't let anyone tell you you're immature. Do all the stuff you do in your own and right time. You will grow up. So growth is not forced. It's never forced. Take your own time. Hence, we can't tell you what to do. We can't tell you what not to do. But if anything, we can share our personal experiences. And guys, take good care of your mental health. Put yourself first. Medicine was there. You will leave it here. There's nothing.
They will never feel your absence. Honestly, it's not. They will carry on without you. Trust me.
And the amazing part is that you can always just add to it. It grows. Just don't let it take away from you. Just be there, crunch the numbers, do everything, and add to it. And looking forward to you guys being the best doctors and great doctors out there. And remember, there's a space for each and every one of us, everywhere. The little thing you do, the bloods you take, the history you take, everything, no matter how small you consider it, makes a difference.
I cannot say anything more. Bye.
Bye, guys.